Scheduled meeting of our Board of Trustees at Charter Oak Unified. And for roll call, all board members are present. And report out of closed session is, in closed session, the board approved settlement agreement A-skip number 8710120, reference case number 22 PSCV 01794. And the roll call vote was 5-0 in favor of. And that will take us to the Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Martinez, would you please lead us?
Sure. Please stand. Put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. And that'll take us to board awards. Dr. Kim.
All right, we have one group that we are recognizing tonight. We're excited. They couldn't join us last month because they were in the middle of a playoff game. If I can brag on this group a little bit, this is the undefeated league softball champions in a very challenging, rigorous Valley Vista league. And softball is near and dear to my heart. I've known some of these girls for 4 years and seen them compete. And they performed so well through the season that they entered the highest level CIF playoff bracket in Division I. And we're near inches from a walk-off, is what I understand that to be. So I'd like to invite up Coach Montel along with our players to brag a little bit about our team, please.
Right. I just wanted to say that I'm very appreciative that you guys are welcoming us into the board meeting. And I do have my group of girls. I don't have my whole group, but I have most of them. I know they're busy doing summer stuff. But I do have Molly Gelino, Alexa Bryan, Michaela Diebert, Alexis Salgado, Alyssa Lopez, and Jasmine Johnson present tonight. Most of these girls are seniors that have graduated. We do have one junior up here as well. So she's going to try to bring that tradition onto the next group of girls, and hopefully we can get another league championship to go back to back to back, because we are back-to-back league champions. We went undefeated in the 2025 league play. We finished with an overall record of 16-1. Our sole loss was in the highest division playoff game. We almost walked off, like Dr. Kim said. It was an 8-7 game. Just very proud of the season that we had. I know we kind of got thrown into it right before the season started. So we did have some challenges, but we overcame a lot of them towards the end. We do have a lot of these girls that are graduating to go play at the next level, so very proud to see where their journeys go. And yeah, I just am excited to see where Charger softball goes in the future, because I'm trying to see if they can go back to back to back. So thank you so much for having us tonight.
Okay, that'll take us to item number 9, our ROP report. Mr. Rose?
I'm going to make sure I push the button here. I did not attend the last meeting because it conflict schedule. My workplace, I don't have a report updated. The next meeting is next week, I believe, on Thursday at 5 o'clock. So I'll be attending there. No further reports.
Thank you, sir. And that'll take us to superintendent report, Dr. Kim.
Thank you, Mr. Peterson. Summer, although school has ended, summer has not slowed us down at all. Summer is actually a very busy time for our school district. I do want to thank our various summer programs that have been started, initiated, and are currently happening at Badillo, Glen Oak, ROMS, as well as Charter Oak High School. Super proud of the work that's happening under Michelle Lee's leadership. We have Principal Ann Stark at ROMS, as well as Heather Lehigh, and we have a whole slew of team that's making sure students' needs, academic needs, are being addressed in our summer programs. Summer's happening across every single one of our campuses in terms of maintenance operations and custodial work, a lot of deep cleaning, a lot of work that we're preparing for, projects that we're undertaking so that we're ready to rock and roll come the 2025-26 school year. We are excited under the board's leadership and direction to start at breaking ground on our solar projects. As a reminder, the solar projects are going to be erected over at Cedar Grove Elementary, Charter Oak High School, Royal Oak, as well as the DSC District Service Center. That'll break ground at the end of this month, early June. So a lot of work that's going to take. It should be a 2-week timeline, and we're going to have those things in place prior to the start of the school year. Our business office, our ed services, our human resources offices, though many people get to take an appropriate break, they're busy in terms of closing the books, opening the new books for the new school year, hiring employees, and getting our school year started. And so we are ramping up, and we'll have some appropriate times built in, but we'll make sure we're energized to start the school year. And a last thought, and if I may, remind this board and our team what we believe about our students and our schools. And in light of everything that's happening with regards to immigration enforcement, our schools are safe places for kids. And we're going to ensure that for our kids. We're going to communicate that to our families. We're going to work closely with our families. And we want to make sure that there's no barriers to their success while they're in our doors. And we're going to make this inviting, welcoming, and safe for them. So I wanted to pass that on to you guys. That concludes my report, Mr. Peterson.
All right, sir, thank you. That'll take us to board comments. We have, public comments, not board comments. That'll be Susan Hook.
It's a green light. So we're good? Thank you. All right, good. We're good, thank you. Good evening, Dr. Kim, Dr. Bond, Dr. Mustafa, Ms. Branford, Board President Peterson, esteemed members of the board. I am making my 3rd appearance before you in the last 3 months. Twice previously, I have tried to make an impassioned case for finalizing a tentative agreement by settling with COEA. I believe that through this, along with member actions, communications and certificated staff, parents and community members, you listened to and heard us. You made the decision to recognize our importance by agreeing to an unscheduled salary increase. I would be remiss if I did not stand here tonight and say thank you. I stand before you cautiously optimistic, as I am aware the vote to approve the tentative agreement with COEA has not yet taken place. Nevertheless, I want to thank COEA's negotiating team, who invested countless hours reviewing contract language, poring over data, crunching numbers, and representing the needs of our members fantastically. I also want to thank the district team, who listened and asked questions and were open to hearing our answers. It's easy to fold one's arms and say no, especially when conversations get difficult. It's easy to walk away or be stubborn for the sake of being stubborn. But it takes courage, character, and open minds to work through both smooth and difficult discussions and being willing to keep moving forward. It is recognizing that even though we may approach issues from different perspectives, we are all part of the same team. A team that tries with all our might to give the very best education every day to all the students of Charter Oak. The district negotiating team deserves credit for continuing to make progress in spite of lead changes that occurred more than once this past year. I want to thank the district for their willingness to be cooperative in its exchange of data with COEA, as well as being willing to answer questions about contract language and budget numbers when asked. Regardless of the vote, I would like to thank Kim Hopstein and the rest of COEA's awesome bargaining team. I also want to thank Dr. Danny Kim for his leadership through this process, as well as to thank Dr. Mustafa and the rest of the district's bargaining team. All involved worked incredibly hard to craft this tentative agreement, which was overwhelmingly approved by the members of COEA, and I hope will be approved by the Board of Trustees tonight. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Hook. That'll take us to item 12, a discussion on bylaw 6158, independent study, and board policy 3100, budget, and to remind all of us that the language has been updated as part of CSBA's process for review of materials, so it is consistent with changes to law, regulations, new guidance, and other directives. Is there any discussion on this matter? All right, hearing none, we'll go ahead and move on to action items. Business services, budget revision and transfer. Can I get a motion? So moved. Can I get a second? Is there any discussion? No discussion, I'll call for the vote. Mr. Rose?
Yes.
Mrs. McGuire?
Yes.
Mrs. Flores? Dr. Aguilar?
Yes.
And I'm a yes, motion passes 5-0. Takes us to item 2, approval and adoption of the final budget for 2025-2026 fiscal year. Can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Mr. Rose?
Yes. The approval and adoption of the final budget for the 25-26 fiscal years. We covered that last meeting during board study section, right? Yeah, so we rely on that. I just want to ask a question about the tentative agreement with 1.1, that 1.1, 1%, 1.1. The question I have for you, for the admin is, where are we getting the money to pay for the 1.1 raise?
Okay, so the raise is actually roughly $550,000, but because it will not be issued in the current fiscal year, it will roll into next fiscal year, and so we will still need to pay the retros for the 24-25 fiscal year, as well as to implement the increases on the salary accounts.
And to confirm, that's a 1%.
So it's 1%, yes.
I don't know if you answered my questions then. Where do we get the money to cover the 1.1?
Okay, so that is all built into the budget that I presented. And as you can see, we were able to incorporate the raise and still meet our 3% reserves. So after we've built in reductions going into next year, as well as reductions in the future years, we are able to still cover the 1% raise.
Okay, I think I follow up. I want to clarify.
Okay.
You're going to be focused on the $550,000 right now. You're going to focus on finding the money to pay for $550,000, right?
It's already built into the budget.
Oh, okay, so then the 1.1, we could cut that off.
Right, it is built into the budget as part of the reserves.
Okay, so it's 0, okay. I want to ask one more time, where the money is coming from to pay the 1% is going to come from within the budget, that what you're saying?
Yes, we have enough reserves to cover the 1%.
What reserve?
So we have a beginning fund balance, and we also, going into the fiscal year, we've done some savings, some reductions, and so we're still able to afford the 1% as well as continue to meet our 3% reserves.
The beginning balance, according to the unrestricted general fund, is 8.3 million.
Correct.
Can you tell me where this come from?
So that's the ending fund balance from the previous fiscal year. So the 23-24 fiscal year, we ended the year with approximately $8 million in reserves. And that became the 24-25 beginning fund balance.
So once the board approves, you're gonna take that out to pay for the 1.1% increase?
Right, so it's all built in to the bottom line.
All right. I'm trying to understand how the budget works with not only 1.1, but we also have to worry about this special education. That's another area that's unknown to us.
Yes.
And according to the report, we anticipated there's going to be increased cost of funding to special education program, right?
Right, special education continues to grow. It increases almost every budget year, and every budget period, it does increase.
Mr. Rose, if I may, just for clarification, I believe I understand what you're asking. And what Carl has shared is that the 1% ongoing raise is integrated into the proposed budget that was presented last week, and that's for your consideration tonight. It is not on top of the budget that we are presenting and you're taking action on tonight. It's integrated in there, along with how we've budgeted for the increase in special ed, along with how we are planning for the appropriate reductions so that we are living within our means, or we are trying to reduce the structural deficit.
I get that. I don't, from what I'm hearing from her tonight, that the 1.1 pay raise is coming from within the budget. It's not coming from additional funds from the state to pay the 1.1. No, it's from within the budget.
Right, so it's a part of our funding. What was that? It is a part of our funding.
As far as special education, if there's an increased cost to support students, their needs, where do we get the funding from?
So it's kind of early to predict how much that would be, but we try to revise the budget and look for areas as we move through the fiscal year. We look at the different areas of spending, and if we have to reduce any particular areas, then we do those reductions.
Okay, thank you.
I just want to thank Ms. Bradford and her team. She was a bit understaffed, but still managed to bring us a balanced budget with information. Thank you for the presentation last week. It was very clear, concise. So just wanted to thank you and your staff for the work.
All right, with that, I'll call for the vote. Mr. Rose?
I have more.
Oh, okay.
No,
I
I
won't call for the vote. Continue.
I have a comment about the budget itself. The beginning balance for 24-25, 8.3 million, but because of the increase, a pay increase, 1.1, it will cover 550,000. And then along in the next 3 years, it shows that the beginning balance will drop dramatically to 2.7 at the end, projected at 2.7 million, the 27-28 budget, as I'm seeing here. So the beginning balance is not guaranteed to cover everything we anticipating increases, special ed, and future pay raise and all the health and benefits, etc. So that could be consideration we have to look at carefully. So I want to keep everyone, this board member, to keep in mind that we anticipating increases the costs down the line.
Ms. McGuire?
And just for clarification, when we're talking about the 3 years out, this is created with the caveat that we don't change anything, right,
Correct.
moving forward. So this 2.7 number could possibly change with, you know, different decisions we make between now and.
Right, right.
Right, okay, thank you.
Any further questions? Further discussion? I'll call for the vote. Mr. Rose?
Yes.
Ms. McGuire?
Yes.
Mrs. Flores?
Yes.
Dr. Aguilar?
Yes.
And I'm a yes, motion passes 5-0. Takes us to item number 3, Resolution 102425, to identify the amount of budget restrictions needed in fiscal years 26-27 and 27-28, and to require that a list of budget reductions be accepted. Can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Mr. Rose?
That is the destabilization plan. That it? If, I want to ask questions. If it shows at the beginning balance that we have the money in the next 3 years, why do we still have to submit this destabilization plan?
We have to submit that plan because we actually built in reductions. And so, and that was how we were able to balance the budget. And so the county office wants that plan and that resolution stating how we will meet the 3% reserves. And so because we built in reductions, we have to disclose that to the county office.
Without this destabilization plan, do we have them? I'm going to rephrase it. Without this destabilization plan, are we, is our budget stabilized in the next 3 years?
No, we would not meet our reserves without the stabilization plan.
With that again?
We would not meet our reserves without the stabilization plan.
All right.
And that's the reason for the stabilization plan.
Correct.
Even the county recognized that we do have money in the beginning balance. So why can't that be considered part of our budget?
But the beginning balance is just one portion of the budget. So with the beginning balance plus the revenues, take away expenditures, we would not have enough reserves. And so even though there is a beginning balance, it's not enough for us to continue business as usual and also meet the 3% reserves.
Thank you.
Okay, any further questions? Okay, I'll call for the vote. Mr. Rose?
Oh, yes.
Ms. McGuire?
Yes.
Mrs. Flores?
Yes.
Dr. Aguilar?
Yes.
And I'm also a yes, motion passes 5-0. We'll take us to business item A4, joint lease agreement with San Gabriel Valley ROP. Can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
And a second?
Second.
Any discussion? I got a question. What is this for the Sunflower Campus?
It is. It's a great opportunity for us to have revenue generation in our school district. We have a partnership with San Gabriel Valley ROP, who is already working with us to educate our kids, and they are going to have a contract with us to lease facilities over at a building over at the Sunflower Campus. So we're super excited about this.
So if I can add, they were leasing from Azusa Unified, but we were
That is
trying to
correct.
convince them to come to Charter Oak.
All right, that works. All right, any further, oh, Mr. Rose?
Ms. Flores, that property at the Stuza is being, I believe, going to be installed. And then we have to find a place to have an office and meeting as well. So that's why I thank Dr. Kim and staff for opening up. They have them over in Sunflower Campus. It's a big plus for me. I mean, I can actually walk over there. Yeah, I can actually walk over there. But I'm excited to have ROP on our campuses and looking forward to serve them.
How many rooms
I believe there was 4 or 5 separate office buildings or rooms, classrooms that would be converted into office spaces for them.
Right, a little over 6,000 square feet.
All right, any further discussion? Okay, I'll go ahead and call for the vote. Mr. Rose?
Yes.
Ms. McGuire?
Yes.
Mrs. Flores?
Yes.
Dr. Aguilar?
Yes.
And I'm also a yes. Motion passes 5-0. I'll take us to action item B1, Educational Services, Consolidated Application for Funding Categorical Aid Program. Can I get a motion?
So moved?
Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? With none, I'll call for the vote. Mr. Rose?
Yes.
Ms. McGuire?
Yes.
Mrs. Flores?
Yes.
Dr. Aguilar?
Yes.
And I'm also a yes. Motion passes 5-0. Takes us to B2, the LCAP. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to bring this.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Great job from staff. Good presentation.
Ms. McGuire?
I missed the presentation, but I did review it, and I just wanted to make sure that we called out the increase in college and career readiness. And, you know, that's kind of been the stone that, what is that, the thing I've been talking about this whole time. But I think a 5% increase is something that we need to talk about and brag about, because if I saw a 5% decrease, I would say, what's going on here? So now that I see a 5% increase, I want to say, good job, everyone.
All right. With that, I'll call for the vote. Mr. Rose?
Yes.
Ms. McGuire?
Yes.
Mrs. Flores?
Yes.
Dr. Aguilar?
Yes.
I'm also a yes. Motion passes 5-0. Which takes us to our SIPSA plan, A3. Can I get a motion?
So moved?
Second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? And for those who don't know what all these acronyms are, it's School Plan for Student Achievement. No discussion, I'll call for the vote. Mr. Rose?
Yes.
Ms. McGuire?
Yes.
Mrs. Flores?
Yes.
Dr. Aguilar?
Yes.
I'm also a yes. Motion passes 5-0. That'll take us to action item C1, approval of collective bargaining agreement with COEA, Charter Oak Educators Association. Can I get a motion?
I'll move.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Mr. Rose?
I think, in my strong opinion, tentative agreement for 1.1% increase, I think is that a long time to do it. It's a long time. It's just considering that our budget is not, I'm concerned about the budget itself entirely. We're going to be seeing a lot of uncertainty down the line in regard to special education, federal money, federal government. The way I'm hearing from different levels, TTA, NEA, I can't remember all the CFBA, they are especially concerned about what is happening at the federal level, especially with the Department of Education, abolition of, they're considering, Trump administration considering abolition of special education, Department of Education there, and what's gonna happen afterward. That's coming up soon. It's not like they're gonna vote on it next year. They're coming up soon, what they do with this. I truly believe teachers deserve a pay raise. I do. As a board member, I have concern with that because there are other areas of concern I have that could cost the district money in regard to special education. Fertility maintenance, we have issue with fertility in our district. So I just wanted the board to know where I stand, why I think it's not a good time to ask for a 1.1 pay raise.
Just for clarification, it's a 1% pay raise.
I'm sorry, 1%. Thank you.
Ms. McGuire?
I just wanted to say, Mr. Rose is right that education is being attacked right now with threats to and challenges to the Department of Education. And so I think that's all the more reason why we should fortify our staff while we can, do what we can while we can, because the teachers will be our first line of defense in everything that impacts our students. We see now ICE, going to school graduations, and teachers are there holding the line. And so that is the type of effort and commitment that when we are fiscally able to, we should reward because we will have very challenging times in the very near future. And collectively, it's going to take all of us. And so I just think while we can, we'll have to make some cuts and we're going to all enter some challenging times, but at least we can do it together.
And I'd like to echo, yes, we are having issues, budgetary issues, but we also have Ms. Branford handling our stabilization plan. And I have confidence in her and the plan that's been set forth by Dr. Kim and staff that we're going to be able to accommodate our teachers, although, we'd like to give them everything we can. In this point, we're kind of limited, but we appreciate all the work that everyone's put into it. Thank you for your partnership, because we're in it together, so thank you.
I have a comment, just to echo what Mrs. McGuire says, is we can't do it without our teachers. And they continue to step up as times get more and more challenging, so, we appreciate you, and we're in the business of education, and we need educators to do our business, so just thank our teachers for all they do.
Mr. Rose, you have something else?
I want to say, Mr. Bradford, no, I'll question you on this one. Follow up Mr. Peters' comment. The board believed collaboration between the district level and the teaching union is critical in solving our budget crisis from then on the next 3 years. The board really truly believed collaboration and communication, open communication among stakeholders will benefit everyone at all levels. So I'm saving you. So you good hands. So you're right, Mr. Peterson. She's really good with numbers, but it's collaboration we're anticipating from all levels. Looking forward to it. I was a little disappointed in the previous months, but I'm hoping that the board can see that there will be more communication among all stakeholders, how we're going to maintain our budget in the plaque.
Yeah, I think absolutely, Mr. Rose, I think the collaboration is key. And so that's why I thank you again, also echoing the thanks to the district team, to the COEA team for reaching this tentative agreement. It's a sign of that collaboration. It's a sign of the process and the quality work that really goes into it. It always takes a lot of time, very complex. And then our role as a board is to help set a lot of those fiscal priorities. And I also echo Mr. Rose's concerns, of course, of looking forward multiple years out and making sure that we are going to be financially solvent and sound for the best for ultimately the students at the end of the day. But a big part of being able to provide the best for the students is, of course, prioritizing who the school really is, which is always the educators, right? Without an educator, there is no school that exists to provide an education. And so with that, I'm really proud to sit here amongst my fellow board members who, over the past many years, have obviously shown that as an important priority to make sure that where possible, where fiscally responsible, we want to provide a meaningful financial compensation for all of our employees, including, of course, our educators in this particular item. So, thank you.
All right. With that, I'll call for the vote. Excuse me, Mr. Rose,
No.
Ms. McGuire,
Yes.
Mrs. Flores,
Yes.
Dr. Aguilar,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Motion passes 4-1. That'll take us to Human Resources, item 2, approval of collective bargaining agreement with California School Employees Association. Can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? I believe that CSEA is just as important component of our district. They're the first line, and that's who our parents see on a regular basis. They put in the work, they're doing, doing the grades, they're doing all the busy work while the teachers are taking care of the students. Our CSA staff is taking care of everything else. So I appreciate all their efforts also. We're very fortunate in this district to have good people working for us. With that, I'll call for the vote. Mr. Rose?
No.
Ms. McGuire?
Yes.
Mrs. Flores?
Yes.
Dr. Aguilar?
Yes.
I'm also a yes. Motion passes 4-1. Now take us to item 3, approval of changes in salary for certificated and classified management and confidential classified. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
I'll second the motion.
Any discussion? And I'll echo what I just said on the previous one is all our groups need leaders, and we're fortunate that we have good leaders in our organization to get us to where we need to be, to set the goals, the mission, the vision, in cooperation with our board. And we got a great set of, our management's fantastic, and we're fortunate to have them leading the rest of our staff. I'll go ahead and call for the vote. Mr. Rose?
No.
Ms. McGuire?
Yes.
Mrs. Flores?
Yes.
Dr. Aguilar?
Yes.
I'm a yes. Motion passes 4-1. Takes us to item 4. Approval of Charter Oak High School principal. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
I'll second the motion.
Dr. Kim, do you have a recommendation?
I'd like to recommend Dr. Robin Perez as the next principal of Charter Oak High School.
All right. Any discussion? She is not here today because she's on vacation. Better now than when she's the principal. But we're excited to have her put in for the position, and I'll go ahead and call for the vote. Mr. Rose?
Yes.
Ms. McGuire?
Yes.
Mrs. Flores? Dr. Aguilar?
Yes.
I'm also a yes. Motion passes 5-0. Dr. Kim?
As Mr. Peterson shared, we're super excited. Through a very rigorous process, we've identified Dr. Perez as our next principal. She is excited to hit the ground running. She did have a planned vacation with her family out of state. We told her, please prioritize your family for now, though she wanted to be here. So again, that process included a very comprehensive hiring interview process with multiple inclusive process of including multiple people from our Charter Oak High School campus. She overwhelmingly became the strongest candidate through the process. We've engaged with her several times, and we're excited to have her on board. Thank you, board.
All right, that'll take us to item 5, declaration of need for fully qualified educators. Can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Rose? Danny, can you explain that to us a little bit?
Yeah, I'll turn it over to Dr. Bond to share about the process for declaring the need for fully qualified educators.
So each year, we have to fill this out for LACO to determine if we've got fully qualified educators in all of our spots. And so we have a couple we have interns in 3 positions, 1 for elementary and 2 special ed, which allows us to do that process by completing this document.
And that ensures that we have properly credentialed teachers in each of our classrooms.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Any further discussion? With not, I'll call for the vote. Mr. Rose?
Yes.
Ms. McGuire?
Yes.
Mrs. Flores?
Yes.
Dr. Aguilar?
Yes.
I'm also a yes. Motion passes 5-0. Takes us to item 6, Human Resources C6, credential waiver. Can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? With no discussion, I'll call for the vote. Mr. Rose?
Yes.
Ms. McGuire?
Yes.
Mrs. Flores?
Yes.
Dr. Aguilar?
Yes.
I'm also a yes. Motion passes 5-0. That'll take us to our consent calendar. Is there anything that anybody needs to pull?
Yes, I need to pull item D1, minutes of the regular meeting of May 15th.
B1?
No, D1.
Oh, D1.
Yeah. I will be abstaining, I wasn't here for that meeting.
Anything else, Mr. Rose?
C2.
I'm going to pull
I got one more.
C1 as well.
Yes. D4. D4 with the membership and organization.
All right, so can I get a motion for consent items except for C1, C2, D1, and D4?
I'll make the motion.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? All next. Mr. Rose?
Yes.
Mrs. McGuire?
Yes.
Mrs. Flores?
Yes.
I'm also a yes, motion passes.
I'll also
I'm sorry,
vote yes
Dr.
on that
Aguilar?
too. Thank you.
Motion passes 5-0. All right, that'll take us to item C1, classified, non-classified personnel assignment order. Can I get a motion to bring that forward?
I'll make the motion.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Discussion?
I'm going to go ahead and abstain on this particular item as well.
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, I'll go ahead and call for the vote. Mr. Rose?
Yes.
Ms. McGuire?
Yes.
Mrs. Flores?
Yes.
Dr. Aguilar?
Abstain.
And I am a yes. Motion passes 4-0 with one abstention. Takes us to item C2, certificated personnel assignment order. Can I get a motion? I'll make a motion. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Mr. Rose?
I'm saying this assignment order, my daughter, Millicent Rose, is on the list as a substitute teacher, so I'm going to vote to abstain it.
Okay. All right. With that, I'll call for the vote. Any further discussion? With that, I'll call for the vote. Mr. Rose?
Abstain.
Ms. McGuire?
Yes.
Mrs. Flores?
Yes.
Dr. Aguilar?
Yes.
I'm also a yes. Motion passes 4-0 with one abstention. Take us to D1, minutes of regular meeting of May 15th. Can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Rose? Any discussion? No discussion, I'll call for the vote. Mr. Rose?
Yes.
Ms. McGuire?
Yes.
Mrs. Flores?
Abstain.
Dr. Aguilar?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. Motion passes 4-0 with one abstention. We'll take us to item D4, memberships and organizations. I'll make a motion. Can I get a second?
I'll second the motion.
Okay, discussion?
I'll second. I'm telling you.
Discussion?
Oh, okay. I have a concern about one organization called American Speech Language Hearing Association, ASHA, which in the past, I'm going to say long ago, that that organization did not support American Sign Language as a language until the year 2018, approximately 2018, where they finally recognized American Sign Language as a language, has its own grammar, has its own syntax. In that, I'm very pleased that they have that in play. I mean, let me try to think. They finally adopted, there you go, they adopted a resolution to recognize American Sign Language as a language. However, my concern is that they put in passages because I have met a handful of speech pathology, and none of them, as far as I'm concerned, only one out of, I can't remember, I met maybe 4, I believe, over the years. Only one knows sign language, and the other 3 did not. So I am concerned about that organization not pushing to have candidates for the speech pathology to take the American Sign Language as part of their course requirements. I'm not seeing that happening yet. Maybe they are, but they're not actively pushing for this. So I have a concern about this. I'm reluctant to vote for this, but at least they have their resolution in place. I would like to see more from that organization to offer American Sign Language as part of the requirement to become a speech pathology or speech teacher or speech therapist. So that's my concern.
Okay, is it something that you're looking for from this board to send them something to say we're in support of that?
Just if I may clarify something, this is a listing of various organizations on various organizations that either provide a service for us. It could be a program or organization like AVID, of which we participate in, or it could be services where individuals are part of, individuals in our organization are members of. I don't know enough about specifically ASHA. I'm listening to Mr. Rose's concerns. We absolutely can look into that and seeing is it as inclusive as we would like for it to be.
I appreciate it. If you can, Mr. President, if you can have this move forward and look into it and get back with the board with the report.
If I may, for additional clarity, so this is an organization, ASHA, that, or is this is specifically just ASHA, the American Society, right? Is that? As
That's
opposed
correct.
to CASHA, as opposed to California
Correct.
specifically. And so any speech therapist, pathologist, speech language pathologist in our district, are they required to be a member of this particular society?
I can only speak personally as my daughter's a speech and language pathologist, and all the information that comes to my house in her name from ASHA is not something that she's forced into doing, but it's something that she was signed up through with her program when she got her master's degree. ASHA was affiliated with that, and that's what started it. I don't think it's something that was forced on her.
And I believe through that particular organization, they facilitate continuing education, whatnot, for members of speech
That's
language
correct.
pathology.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought this up. One more point of clarification, if I may. These are a listing of available memberships that have been approved by this board, of which schools schools and/or individuals can participate in. And so that's just what we want to clarify. Whether individuals, like a speech pathologist, participates in it is really an individual decision.
So we're not forcing anybody, it's purely optional.
Unless it's part of their credentialing or licensing requirements, or if it's required for participation in that program, such as AVID.
So, Mr. Rose, would you like us to send a letter? How would you feel more comfortable, or how can we help advocate?
Well, I would like to see if ASHA can support or encourage speech therapists, pathologists to take ASL courses. That's what I'm looking at. Because in general population, you're going to have students that only rely on American Sign Language because they don't have an English foundation within themselves while growing up. So that big challenge for any deaf or hard of hearing student to pick up the language itself. It's difficult, extremely difficult. But with the sign language, it really facilitates to help students to pass it to speech. It does, and in at my 24 years of teaching, I see that how beneficial ASL is for the speech pathology teacher therapists to use during the one-on-one section with the student who have hearing loss. So I would like to see if actually are advocating particular candidate to take the ASL courses. I just want to know if they are doing it.
Okay, how about if we have Dr. Kim or staff look into that, and we can also look in the potential of the board sponsoring a letter in favoring your position?
That it will be pleased the board, yes.
Okay, all right, sir, thank you. All right, with that, any further discussion? Okay, I'll go ahead and call for the vote. Mr. Rose?
Yes.
Ms. McGuire?
Yes.
Mrs. Flores?
Yes.
Dr. Aguilar?
Yes.
And I'm a yes, motion passes 5-0. That'll take us to board comments. Mr. Rose?
I know I voted no on three salary. I voted no on three item on the agenda tonight on pay raise. It's not against about the people that work with us. It's about our budget. I love to talk about the budget, and I know the board have heard me many times about talking about the budget itself, and I like numbers too. Well, I do. They do like numbers, and this is the big time, and this is the time where I feel very. I'm concerned. I am very concerned about the budget itself and how we're going to balance in the next 3 years. There's a lot of uncertainty down the road. We don't have an answer for this. We don't. I'm not sure that applauding after the vote, after the approved by the board helps, because the stabilization plan are going to be in place in the next 3 years. May hurt the students more than the pay increase themselves. This is something that I'm keeping that in the back of my mind. I'll do my very best to ensure that the students are being impacted by budget cut and at our level. Hopefully we are keeping many programs in place. There are students that are in need of services, and we are giving them with the COVID money. We are, and that's helpful in many ways. Now that the COVID money is gone, we're not going to see a single dollar anymore from the COVID money, and possibly may not see any more dollars coming from the federal level. They're not, as far as I'm concerned, they're not sympathetic to our concern with the student, which is unfortunate that we are dealing with. So I just want this. I'm sure with the rest of the board, we want to see more collaboration between the district and the union to see if we can come up with a better budget plan down the road in the next 3 years to minimize impact on the student learning. That's what I'm looking forward. I don't know. That's my question. Yes, I retired recently. I retired on the last day of school. The day after the last day of school, I'm looking forward to spend time visiting the site down the road, listening to people participating in the discussion. And so far, it's been okay because I still feel that the summer break right now. Normally, I would feel the summer break, normally. I don't know what's going to happen when school started, so I'll make sure I have a box of tissue ready in place. I'm not sure, but I enjoy my professional year. I really enjoy teaching. I actually learn a lot from a student than I learned myself. Each student is unique. I strongly believe each student had a dream. Each student has a dream. It's just amazing how I learn a lot from them. It's just they look to us, teachers, for guidance. Teacher is, if you look at the charter organization, teacher is the meat of all of this. We are the teachers are the one that interact with students on a daily basis. Of course, other staff like administrator and counseling also meet with the student as well. But the student really trusts the teacher, and they feel comfortable talking to the teacher outside of the substance in many ways. And I admire the teacher as well. I do admire charter oak teachers. I had met I met several teachers out the school year, and they heard me about my concern about the budget. They are concerned. They are not scared about my concern. They acknowledge it. Yeah, we're gonna have to see how it goes down the line. So I have no regret for my fault. I have a responsibility as a board member to see our official stay solvent. And back to you, Mr. Peterson.
Mr. Rose, Ms. McGuire.
Hello, happy Wednesday, everyone. Congrats again to Dr. Perez. That was the fastest promotion ever. But, you know, just to be clear, it was not a promotion. There was an actual process, et cetera, et cetera. And I am really happy we reached an agreement with our teachers. I think that, like I said earlier, anytime that we can improve or increase what we provide for our teachers and our team here at the district, we absolutely should. So I'm proud of the budget modifications that we are going to make. We'll definitely have to tighten our belts to accommodate for this, but I think it's the right thing to do, especially now, and especially because we don't know what's going to happen in the future at the federal or the state level. So while we can, we should. I don't know if anyone's noticed, but today is Wednesday and not Thursday. And that is because we are closed tomorrow to celebrate Juneteenth. That's right. And maybe you guys know, but maybe folks listening don't know. Juneteenth marks the unofficial, official end of American slavery of African people here in this country. So on June 19th, 1865, over 2 years after President Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, troops had to travel to Galveston, Texas to tell people who were still working on the plantations that they actually had been released from slavery because the plantation owners had not told them because they wanted to continue to benefit from free labor. So this is now a holiday where we celebrate the resilience of Black Americans here in this country. And also, it's a time for us to reflect on our ongoing pursuit of freedom, justice, and equity for everyone in everything that we are facing in our country right now. It's also important to note we don't need a holiday to do this, right? As attacks on diversity and equity and inclusion happen in our country, it's important that we note, as school board members and as people responsible for the education of our future leaders, we don't need a holiday to ensure that we continue to teach our country's history, our resilience, and the deep and rich tapestry that makes us who we are, what truly makes us great as Americans. This also gives us an opportunity to have real conversations. In order to not repeat history, we have to reflect upon it and talk about it, and that's a good thing. The reason I'm able to sit here today as the first Black school board member in this community is because of the people, my ancestors, who were able to fight and be resilient and work until they were able to become full-fledged Americans in this country. So I take holidays like this very seriously. I feel proud to be a part of a community that acknowledges holidays like this. And again, I think it's important that we continue to fight for the principles of equity and justice in our communities and in our school district and anywhere we have a realm of influence. So if you're wondering, well, Kristen, how do I celebrate Juneteenth with you? I'll tell you. There's tons of celebrations. Now, we're a little far from Los Angeles, but there's a lot going on in LA, and like in Leimert Park, everyone is welcome. If you live out in the Inland Empire area, they're having a huge celebration in Rialto tomorrow, where I will be participating. And it's just a time to build community. There are inclusive events where you can learn a little bit about Black culture if you don't know a lot. And it's just a great time to build community. So with that, I will say happy Juneteenth and have a great summer, everyone.
Ms. Flores?
Happy Juneteenth, and I just need to share from a personal perspective. It's sad what's happening in our communities. I am the daughter of immigrants. My parents were undocumented at one point. And it's just very sad and disheartening, things that are happening in our communities, and the way immigrants are being treated is just disgusting. So I just need to share that and put that out there because it is really heart-wrenching when we see the separation of our families. But, you know, at Charter Oak, I know Maria and her team and all of you here are doing everything you can to support our students. We are in the business of education, regardless of a student's, you know, they have the right piece of paper or not. So just wanted to call that out and thank you all for your continued support. And on a brighter note, my son, Gabriel Flores, will be attending UC Santa Barbara in the fall. A product of Charter Oak, and Kim Hopstein was his 5th grade teacher, I believe, or 4th grade. So thank you. Tammy, did you have? 6th grade teacher, so thank you. Maria, you had him too. So thank you all for your support. This is my 3rd Flores child that graduates that will be attending a UC school. So a credit to all of you for your continued support. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. And you know, he is a product of this district from kinder on. So thank you all for your support. And let's have a great summer. Happy Juneteenth. Let's all celebrate tomorrow. And thank you to this team for a great year. And let's continue to move forward. So with that, Dr. Aguilar.
Dr. Aguilar?
Thank you. Since our last board meeting, we had the privilege to attend numerous promotions and graduations, and those events, as always, were just incredible. Wonderful. Thank you to the staff for helping facilitate those, and congratulations to all of the students that promoted or graduated at any of our sites. Looking forward to, again, hearing amazing things for all of our now alum in terms of the high school level, and seeing the great things that they will do, such as your son.
And Mrs. McGuire's daughter will also be attending Sacramento State.
Excellent, yeah.
Sorry.
You didn't have to bring that up right now. I'm not prepared.
And with those celebrations, that transitioned us into the summer period. And as Dr. Kim mentioned, we have robust summer programs operating across the district. So, you know, just want to thank all of the staff that continue to put in the challenging work through the summer months that benefit all of our students, and of course, district-wide, personnel-wise, that continue to keep all the operations exactly where they need to be. So with that, thank you.
All right. Congratulations to Dr. Perez. Hopefully you're enjoying her European trip is going well. Looking forward to having you at the school when you get back. Although it was in consent calendars, but some important stuff we talk about the teachers and how they take care of our students in the classroom. We also renewed our contract with our SRO with Covina Police Department and our crossing guards today. And that's important that we have our students protected on campus at all times. And we have a great partnership with our police department and Chief Walzak, and also those crossing guards who are out there every day, rain or shine, taking care of our kids, the first people to greet our students. So I'm glad that's taken care of already. Our drama program's going full bore. There was a band at Rom's Crest something, Rising Crest?
Pacific Crest.
Pacific Crest. They played late.
Did you hear them?
From my house, I could hear them. Very organized, a big group.
Yeah, that's a professional drum corps. And they've been wonderful partners with the district for a number of years, and they'll do kind of a version of a band camp, essentially, here at our sites.
Yeah, they were, there's a lot of them, and they were loud. But it was, I mean, they were good, but they were loud.
Yeah. If you'd like to see their finished product, there will be a performance at the Rose Bowl on July, let me make sure I get my date, 12th. And you can find tickets, I'm sure, to that event.
You know what? I heard their finished product from my house. Several times. But thank you. Excited about the solar program getting going. It's been a long time coming, so I'm excited about that. And some other things in this 5-page, 6-font agenda that we had. Regarding fiscal responsibility, we also had the piggyback bids with the state of California to make things cheaper for us to purchase when we piggyback with other agencies. So that's helping with our fiscal solvency. So that's good stuff. And then one more thank you to our teachers. There was a protest in Covina earlier in the week. Was it Monday? Yeah, no King's Day on Monday. Saturday, my eighth grader was curious based on all the constitutionality associated with things. So she wanted to go. So we went, and her eyes were all big, and it helped her understand what our Constitution's about. And a lot of those visions were painted by you folks. So I appreciate that. It's making her more well-rounded, and I see it on a daily basis. We're excited to be able to give you some money, and we do appreciate everything you do. So thank you. All right, and with that, our future meeting is August 21st, and there is no need for closed session. We'll go ahead and close this meeting at 7:50.